Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, the home of power mining analysis. Well, here we have it. Bitcoin week has finally arrived. Anthony Power and I are so excited to be heading down to Bitcoin Nashville this Wednesday for an action-packed week. In addition to that, you guys, we finally hit our 45,000 subscriber milestone and we just cracked 4,000 audio downloads on the podcast. Now, in today's episode, we've got a lot to talk about. We actually have the team from Hive on for an interview tonight to go over the big press release that came out today. But we want to give you our initial reaction to that new 100 megawatt data center facility in Paraguay. In addition to that, we've got a number of key catalysts on the horizon this week from a technical standpoint, a fundamental standpoint, and Bitcoin adoption. And we're going to go through all of those in today's video. Now, before we do, please take a second, smash the like button. We're well on our way to 46,000. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join. And let us know in the comments section below if you're currently holding any of the companies we discuss in today's video, your outlook on Bitcoin for the back half of the year, and if you're going to be in attendance at Nashville this week. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay, guys, so that's right. We're here Monday morning. It's the week of Bitcoin around the world, Anthony. The biggest Bitcoin convention globally is taking place this week in Nashville. We're going to be heading down there in a couple days' time. But before we do, we've got a few housekeeping items today. So first and foremost, Anthony, we've got Aiden and Frank on from Hive tonight. They're going to be on the channel this afternoon. We'll put out the video later on this evening. Obviously, some big news today talking about creating a 100 megawatt data center in Paraguay. So I wanted to get your take on that. And then we're going to move into some of the Bitcoin price action over the weekend here. So we'll start off with Hive. Won't go into it too much detail. Again, you guys, we've got the team on for an interview tonight. But Anthony, what was your first take on this news?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that we know that Hive operates in Iceland, in Sweden, in Canada. So by moving another operation into Paraguay or starting operation there, that's no real change from the raison d'etre at the moment. But they're looking to establish they haven't got approved yet, but looking to establish a 100 megawatt digital mining operation there, using 100% green energy from the nearby hydroelectric dam. And they've had discussions with the president and who supports, some of the Bitcoin miners coming into Paraguay. So, this is giving the country revenues because at the moment, Paraguay send quite a lot. They produce so much energy, they can't utilize it in country. So they're sending energy across to Brazil, and it's, they're only getting like, I think 1 cent per kilowatt hour. So the likes of some of these mining companies, and we've seen Bitfarms operate there. We're now going to see Hive operate there. I think Marathon Digital have got a joint venture there. And these mining companies will pay more than 1 cent. So, and use, a significant amount of energy. So it's a great win for the country as well. They're going to start getting more revenues per kilowatt hour than they were getting previously, and they've got an abundance of energy. So
yeah, win-win, eh?
This is basically going to take their, we're looking at the next 12 months. So if once approval have been received, we're looking at a 12-month period. It's a 100 megawatt facility. It'll boost their mining capacity by a further 6.5 exahash. So at the moment, with the new machines coming in, the replacement machines coming in, they're going to be operating at 5.6 imminently. So this extra 6.5 takes them to 12.1 exahash by this time in 12 months' time. So that's a jump in their hash rate. That's nearly doubling the hash rate. And so, yeah, it's a positive story. It doesn't look like this one's going to be used in terms of HPC and AI. We've seen a number of miners start moving significant amounts of their power towards that space, but Hive already are in the HPC space because they've got a lot of GPUs that they have from their Ethereum mining days, which can be converted to provide, HPC functions, and they're already doing that. I mean, they're already achieving, I think, close to $1 million in revenue per month at the moment. They've got a target to get to 20 by the end of the year. But these are sort of questions that we'll get more detail from the likes of Frank and Aidan when we go through on the podcast later today.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting discussion. Now, the other interesting news headline over the weekend, we got official word that President Biden has pulled his name out of the race. So initially, Bitcoin actually pulled back on this news, Anthony. You rightfully pointed out that the market has priced in a Trump win over Biden, obviously Trump being more bullish on Bitcoin than Biden's campaign. However, with this question mark now in terms of who's going to replace him, we did get a little bit more insight over the weekend. The market was a little bit unsure. Now, it looks like Bitcoin has come back in full steam. Really, I guess Trump wins, great. We obviously know his stance on Bitcoin. Biden's replacement hopefully will be a little bit more pro crypto than the current Biden administration. And then Bitcoin really having a strong rally over the weekend, Anthony, breaking 68,000. It's pulled back a little bit Monday morning, as unfortunately the pattern you've identified continued here. But a strong weekend for Bitcoin and a strong update in terms of the political landscape with a new entrance into the race, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. It was good to see Bitcoin get to 68,000. It's, as I say, it's been hovering that sort of 60,000, 70,000 bracket for a number of months now. So, maybe we have seen sort of like, some sort of bottoming effect, and we're getting to that position, coming up to 3 months now past the halving. This is the sort of like the peak time now that the Bitcoin in previous cycles. I'm not saying, everything has to follow, by cycle, but generally, a lot of the technical analysis shows that Bitcoin price does trend in the same way. So no reason to say it won't this year. And this year's had more catalysts than previous. I mean, the ETFs alone, the buying power of the ETFs has just been absolutely phenomenal. Something like 41,000 Bitcoins been purchased, and it's just constantly relentless. So all signs are that Bitcoin could start to rally now, and it's have these small changes, and the miners have been a little bit sort of more volatile today in terms of they've been monitoring the Bitcoin price. So we've had some big jump pre-market, then it came back down. It's starting to rise again. So you've got to be in this space. You've got to accept that volatility in both Bitcoin price and the mining stocks. The mining stocks are far more volatile than the Bitcoin price. So we see the Bitcoin price change on volatile days between 2-3%, but the mining stocks can be double digits, 20%, 30% in a day without blinking an eye.
Yeah, we're all fairly familiar, unfortunately, with the volatility, but that's the way it goes in this industry. And Anthony, you're right. We'll throw up some visuals here from a technical analysis standpoint. We've got accounts like Plan B, obviously Freedom by 40, really indicating strong bullish technical signals, whether you're looking at the RSI, you're looking at the time period since the halving, where we're at in the bull cycle here, some of the strong support and technical formations we're seeing in the charts. Then you fast forward, you look at the ETFs. You're right, Anthony, over 41,000 Bitcoin purchased this month. Interesting fact, again, from HODL 15 Capital, you guys, BlackRock has over 1,111 different ETFs or funds. And IBIT, which is the Bitcoin one, is currently ranked 31st of all funds. So again, really supporting that strong fundamental inflows we've been talking about for so many months here. And then on the adoption front, Anthony, not only do we have the political rallying or jockeying we just talked about, we've got Trump speaking this week, we've got RFK Jr. speaking at the event, and we've got Peter McCormick, who's putting Bitcoin on balance sheet for his soccer or football teams or clubs. So adoption around the world here at every level, whether you're talking about the US government, that strategic reserve, or even small football clubs overseas in the UK, putting Bitcoin on balance sheet to work for them, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. They purchased just under 67 Bitcoin for $4.5 million. At close to what the current price is now, $67,220 per Bitcoin. The club itself have a hodl of about 82.7 Bitcoin. And the average price of all that Bitcoin is about just under $65,000. So it's currently in positive territory there. But that's great to see a small football club in the UK. They just got promoted last season again, so they're moving closer up the non-league divisions, and in 2 or 3 more seasons of promotions, you could see them do what Wrexham have done and go into the main football leagues, the professional leagues, and
Sure.
Sky's the limit from there. But that was interesting. Just think if some of we've got 3 teams in the Premier League in the English Premier League are ranked in the top 5 most valuable football clubs in the world. So you have the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City, and Liverpool, all probably in excess of about $5 billion in terms of valuations. Just imagine if those clubs started to put some of their cash in the treasury into Bitcoin on the balance sheet, what that would look like.
Yeah, no kidding. Real Bedford is the Bitcoin team. They're leading the chase. And you're right, Anthony, as soon as one of these teams does it, similar to the US Strategic Reserve, it's really just the domino effect from there. All the other countries, companies, teams, whatever the case is, they don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So definitely an interesting point that was brought up, and a great purchase by Mike Alfred. Now, the next portion of this conversation, Anthony, I want to talk about Nashville. So we're going to be heading down there on Wednesday. We've got Sebastian on the channel tomorrow for a live stream. It's your birthday, so you're not going to be there. But Sebastian and I will tie that up. Then we're traveling Wednesday. What does the week look like when we hit the ground and kick off on Thursday here, Anthony?
Yeah, we've got 3 full days. You're going to be moderating on the first day with a great panel. I'm on the second day moderating, and I've got the likes of Aidan Killett from Hive Digital. I've got Sam Tabar from Bit Digital, and I've got Andre Garaman from Hive On. So three great panelists to talk about Bitcoin and AI, HPC, and the future of Bitcoin mining. So that's going to be an interesting discussion. When you think about some of the biggest news stories in the mining industry this year, some of those biggest stories will be relevant to this discussion panel there. So it's great to have those on the panel itself. I'm really looking forward to it. Outside of that, there'll be probably some additional podcasts. There'll also be opportunity to go to some of the after conference parties that are laid on by some of the big sponsors. So we've had a number of invites already, and the diary from my perspective is looking quite full at the moment. Bryce, not about yours, but it looks like it's going to be a really, really good week in Nashville. And I know quite a few people are already there now, so we're going in the day before. But I know even like we just mentioned, Peter McCormack, he's already there. He was already there this morning, so some people are really setting up, getting prepared. Because there's a lot to do. 3 days isn't a long time, and there'll be so much to do in these conferences. So many people there, thousands and thousands of people, and there'll be a requirement to do a number of things while we're there. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good networking event. As I mentioned, Anthony, this is the first conference of any scale or size that I'm going to. So I'm going to really take advantage of it, try and meet and greet as many people as possible, put some faces to names. You're right. I've got a panel on the first day. So the Thursday, I'll put the details up on the screen here. We would absolutely love you guys to come out and see us on stage if you're going to be in Nashville. Of course, we'd love to meet up afterwards as well. We'll be around the full 3 days. I know we've already received a number of DMs and emails from subscribers. So if you're going down there, make sure you meet up with us. We're bringing down a bunch of swag. We're happy to go out for a few drinks and discuss Bitcoin or whatever else is on your guys' mind. And then Anthony, you're right. Obviously, the after parties are going to be great and another great networking opportunity. So should be an action-packed week. We're going to try and get as much content, interviews, footage as we can down there. And then as soon as we get back, we're right into earnings season with Q2 for most of these companies coming out in August or the first couple weeks here of August. So should be an action-packed next few weeks, Anthony. Looking really forward to it. The other thing I wanted to quickly update you guys on is our website. So we've been doing a number of enhancements there. Anthony, I'll let you speak to some of the real or live data feeds that we're working on. But one really interesting one, you guys, in addition to the map, we've now updated our newsletter landing page. So if you want information, every 2 weeks, we're going to send out the top press releases, news articles, and happenings in the Bitcoin community. And on top of that, we've got miner-specific data on the website available in real time for you guys as well. So Anthony, I'll pass it over to you. You can talk about some of the real-time updates, but a lot going on the website front as well.
Yeah, we've got our web designer team working on a few initiatives for us. We're trying to building some live metrics. So we already have things on the website now, like live pricing in terms of share pricing, in terms of Bitcoin pricing. We also have financial information on there that's up-to-date information, so we can obviously acquire the market capitalization. What we're trying to use information that's on the website and program it to determine other metrics, like come up with enterprise value for these mining companies. And that can change on, like the market capitalization, that can change on a daily basis. But we have enough information available to us to do that. If we can get the calculation programmed, we can do that, and that opens the door to many things. You can have, valuation of a company in terms of exahash, in terms of megawatts, and we know that there's a lot of subscribers. They want to see more and more information. So we're not stopping. We've been doing the websites. This is our second website we've built now. So our first website was built in the first month since we started at the beginning of January. And then when we got the first website, which was good, and we had a lot of good responses, we wanted something even better. So we now got a HTML website, which means it's far quicker to navigate around. There's a lot of information on there. Please, the link will be in the comments. Have a navigate around it. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we're there to try and provide you with data that's usable, so you want to keep coming back to the website. But there's a lot of interesting developments. We're not stopping on this. This was really our centerpiece for what we're trying to do in terms of a platform, is make sure the website is functional and can deliver as much live data as possible.
Yeah, most definitely. We've had a couple comments, Anthony, people saying they're enjoying watching us grow this business, and each step along the way, learning about the green screen and learning about the microphones and the website and the Patreon group and all the rest. So we're learning each and every day, just like you guys. The point of this is to create value and education for the community. So just like the questions for CEOs, we want your guys' input here. Take a look at the website. Let us know what you think. We've got over 4,000 audio downloads now on our podcast too. So things are really starting to come together, and it's all because of the community and support of you guys. So we really appreciate that. In closing here, you guys, again, we've got Hive tonight, CEO and co-founder chairman, both joining us on the program. We've got Sebastian tomorrow for a 2-hour live episode, Travel Day on Wednesday, and then Bitcoin Nashville for the remainder of the week. So an action-packed week. Let us know if you guys are going to be down there. Leave a comment in the section below. Smash the like button, you guys. Subscribe to the channel. We hit our 45,000 subscriber goal, Anthony, so we're well on our way, and we'll see you here tomorrow.